Definitely, I'm all for the first option, which is culture to dialogue more than culture to dialogue less and preserve its cultural identity. Because the more you isolate yourself, the less will be the solutions to any problem that may emerge or any initiative that you may want to take in the future. The more you dialogue, the more you learn. And I think that's what globalization has taught us. Because it has taught us to speak to the other. And when you speak to the other and interact with the other, yes, as globalization has shown, that you will become far more, possessive about your own identity, because somewhere you feel that, by interacting with the other, you're going to lose out on who you are. But at the end of the day, you're far more enriched than you are if you isolate yourself. So I think in any case, bad or good or ugly, it is important for culture to dialogue, irrespective of the negative consequences that may be more visible at the beginning of this process. But isolation really doesn't get us anywhere. I think that if you interact with other cultures, awareness about your own culture also becomes sharper. Definitely. Because one, when you interact with other cultures, you interact through similarities first, you look at commonalities first, and then you look at differences. Often the two don't come together or don't happen one and two. Often maybe differences happen first and commonalities happen later. But the fact that you interact with the other will make you more aware of yourself, definitely, but would also over a period of time make you aware of what is similar that you have with the other that you're interacting with. And in that sense, it will help you to redefine who you are. Because, for example, let me take a very simple example of a rural person coming from a rural area into Delhi, for example, or metropolitan city like Delhi. He would initially be looking at himself as being different from this so-called urban a citizen who he interacts with. But he also then looks at similar problems that he shares with this urban citizen. Problems of health, problems of employment, problems of social norms maybe. And some of them are very similar as to these cultural mores or social norms or employment problems or social problems that he faces in his own rural area. So his rural identity or his regional identity is emphasized at the first moment of contact. But I think as we progress, we find also much more our commonalities. And that's how I think immigrants, in some senses, though they tend to isolate themselves, in areas where they immigrate to, also find ways and means to integrate and assimilate into the new environments. So I think in that sense, yes, it also enhances who I am, and in a positive way, not just in a negative way, but it also enhances the fact that I am very much like you, or you and I, or the other and I have some common points of view.